Well, I hope you didn't have any plans for the weekend, unless your plans were to boil to death, because apparently, according to the UN, that's what's going to happen. Here's the headline: Global warming is out. Global boiling is in. United Nations Secretary General says. So, global boiling, that sounds scary. But keep in mind, the UN is the same organization that elected Saudi Arabia to its Women's Rights Commission. And I'll just repeat that in case you missed it. The UN elects Saudi Arabia to Women's Rights Commission. It kind of makes me wonder if we should listen to anything that they say. Here from Daniel Turner: the words global warming didn't work. The words climate change didn't work. So now the UN chief is using the words global boiling to push his radical green agenda.
And for scientists, it is unequivocal. Humans are to blame. All this is entirely consistent with predictions and repeated warnings. The only surprise is the speed of the change. Climate change is here, it is terrifying, and it is just the beginning. The era of global warming has ended, the era of global boiling has arrived.
Okay, so spoiler alert, you're not going to boil to death. And it doesn't matter how much this guy wants you to live in poverty and eat bugs and all the rest of it, it's still just not going to happen. And there aren't any actual climate scientists that are claiming that the world is boiling or is going to start boiling anytime soon. Here's the climate of the Earth over the last 500 million years. And as you can see, it's changed quite a bit. And if we go back under 50 million years ago, there weren't even any ice caps. We're actually now at one of the coldest times in the last 500 million years. And even when it was at its hottest, the Earth wasn't boiling. So it can be truth that the Earth may be warming, as the Earth has gotten cooler and warmer and cooler and warmer over the entire history of the human species. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be apocalyptic. What it may mean is that we may have to adapt somewhat to whatever gradual negative effects they are, but also adapt and take advantage of whatever positives there are, which will include more arable land. Because, humans are extremely good at adapting. And as for fossil fuels, look, we can't stop using them unless we expect half of the world to die in the next 3 years. So that's just not going to happen. And asking China really nicely to stop building all of their thousands of coal plants probably isn't going to get us anywhere. And certainly what we don't want to do is impoverish the entire world so that we can't develop the next generation power sources that we are going to need in the future. And don't for a second think this guy doesn't know it. And also, don't think for a second that this guy doesn't know that using ridiculous words like global boiling isn't actually going to do anything for the environment. If he's using those words, he's got a different agenda. And on that note, would it surprise you to find out that Guterres is the former president of the Socialist International and a firm believer that the planet can only be saved by a team of experts and government control? In 1999, Guterres gave an address outlining his desire for global socialism and how his vision for the world would depend upon international organizations like the UN, global regulations, and cooperation between non-government actors. He ended his speech saying, quote, "Dear friends and dear comrades." That's right, dear comrades. We must not abandon utopia because the antagonism between ideas and reality is both the major dilemma of democratic socialism and its fascinating driving force. So, okay, let's go over this again. He talks about utopia. Anybody who talks to you about utopia is not a friend of yours. That's a lunatic who wants nothing but control. And it hardly needs saying that socialist utopias have a crazy habit of every single time becoming awful dystopias. And how about this? Antagonism between ideas and reality. Well, we know what happens when there's a clash of ideas and reality. With socialists, well, the ideas do great until the reality hits. So, I don't know about you, but I don't believe this guy. Yeah, the only thing I believe about this guy is that the socialist utopia part, that's for you. I'm pretty sure he's going to keep on living like a capitalist. And I have to say, as a pitch for global socialism, This global boiling thing, this might be the worst one I've heard yet. Anyway, please subscribe, like, and share. Sharing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.